Okay, people. So today, man, we looked at a really interesting documentary, and we have got the lady behind it, Habibata Ouarme. Welcome to the podcast. Thank you so much for your time. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine, Kevin. Thank you for having me here today.
Tremendous. No, that's great. Yeah. So I watched your documentary today, 1001 Crowns for My Head, which, yo, this is like, it's such a great exploration of like African hair, like of heritage, of culture. You know what I mean? Because a lot of the things that were said, like I completely got from growing up, right? When people would be like, "Oh, can I touch your hair?" Not even asking a lot of the time. Be like, "Oh, it feels squishy. Oh, it's bouncy. Oh," you know what I mean? And you're just like, "Wait, yo, what?" And the worst thing, a lot of times, it's adults, right?
Yeah,
It's not kids.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
adults doing this stuff, and you don't know as a kid how crazy that is. It's just you're thinking it's like, wait, what? Who are you? I don't know you. But you don't think, yo, that's super inappropriate,
Absolutely.
you know? And it's crazy because someone who, like a brunette, doesn't walk up to a redhead and go, "Oh, your hair's different to mine. Can I touch it?" You know what I mean? Like, you don't do that. People don't walk up to someone else and was like, "Oh, your body's different to mine. Can I touch it?" You know what I
Absolutely.
mean?
I mean, it's so you don't want to get to people's space
Mm,
without asking. You have to ask. Can I touch it? And the way of doing it so inappropriate. Usually people just, they're gonna just come close to you and just put like you said, put their
yeah.
hand in your head. Oh, this is squishy. Oh, this is different. But we are all different, right? We're all human and we're different in our way of being human.
Mm,
So I've learned a lot doing this documentary, because many of the women in the documentary had different experience in their life and still have different every day. Either you work in business, you have different experience. They call it
mm,
the micro aggressions to you and your hair or your hairstyle. I remember in Montreal, I think 5 years ago, I went to there was something that I went to some, I don't know, something was, what was that, a business meeting, something like that, and I had a different hairstyle, and I remember someone saying, "Oh, what happened to your hair? Last time I saw you, it was like an afro. What did you do to your hair?" I'm like, "Well, I did something different. You can see this is different, and this is something I wanted to, So yeah, this is still me."
mhm.
I go, "Oh, okay." I admire. What did she said again? She said, "Oh, I love how you can just decide to change your hair whatever you want." So it's somehow I was like, "Is that person happy for me, or
Mm.
what was that?"
Yeah, it's
It's hard to
super
understand what the
weird.
person sort of want to say, but you kind of understand it.
Mm. Because they can go to the hairdressers. You know what I mean? They can change their hair. Everyone can change their hair. The only thing you can't do, like, I can't tomorrow get bangs. You know what I mean? That's the only thing, right? I have to wait, grow my hair out, and then change. But if you've got long hair, you can cut it short. You can cut it in a different way. So
Yeah.
to try and act like, "Oh, you're the only person that can do this," is bonkers. But it's weird how people think that those kind of questions are
Mhm.
absolutely fine, right? You don't walk up to someone in a wheelchair and go, have you ever tried walking?
Right.
I mean, have you just tried? Maybe it happens. Like, you would never do that.
Yeah, exactly. This is so. Oh yeah, this is yeah. Like, have you tried working? Like, no, I mean, obviously, you
Mm,
you can see that that person is sitting in
yeah.
wheelchair. So right, so you don't need to ask the person. So you have your two eyes and you have your brain, and
Hmm.
to understand what's happening, right? But for some person, it's I didn't know how big this was when I moved here in Canada, because back I grew up in Ivory Coast, and my dad is from Burkina Faso. So, those two countries kind of share the same border, right?
Yeah.
So we kind of, go back and if those two countries were like, depending when I start school, when I had to go to do my bachelor degree, I went in Burkina Faso to do it because the school there and the program that I wanted to do was there, and it was the better option for me, right? And I've never, imagine one day, I'll be living, outside those countries, like in
Yeah.
Canada, and someone will say, "Oh, what's happening with your hair? Why do you have different style today? Did your hair grow up, like a grow overnight?" Somebody say, "Did your hair grow overnight?" I'm like, "No, this is wigs." "Oh, wow. It's interesting." Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, you can wear wigs if you want. I, I'm not telling you not to do it. This is just me deciding that I want to wear wigs. It doesn't make me different person. I'm just me, but I have
Mm,
a different hairstyle, right? And here it's so expensive to get your hair done.
yes.
And I've learned to do it myself, sitting on with the two mirror, one in the back, one in the front, and trying to do it. And one of not just that it's expensive. It's just I used to get my hair done with my aunt, with friends, with people I know,
Mm,
because my mom always told me that here, this here is it's like it's the it's your like how you say it, it's your not crown, but it's on the human body, your hair
yeah.
is a machine. It's
It's
the
part of your essence kind of
it's
thing,
yeah,
right?
and it's like the root. You connect to the sky using your root, and you connect to the earth by your feet, right?
Mm,
So that you have that connection. So when you're doing your hair, you don't want your hair to be done with somebody that have bad energy, somebody
yes.
that you don't connect with. So you need to have that connection. So it was hard for me. It is still hard for me to go outside to see, hey, I want you to do my hair. I have to know you somehow. We have to connect. If I go to your shop and I don't feel the connection with you, I might say, you know what, I'll come back later, or you know what, something happened, I have
Mm,
to go back home. So all this, make it a little bit difficult for me. And I'm not the only person. There's many people here. I have friends that decided that it's better for them to have locks, the dreads,
yeah.
because it's easy. You do it home, and once a while you go to a shop and they just do the how you call it, the part that grows, connect.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh my god, hair is so it's big. It's culturally it's big, spiritually it's big, and you have that economic part that come with the product we use, the chemicals we put sometime, that's bad for us. It's a big thing, right?
Mm. Well, you have that part in the documentary where it talks about like in tribal times getting your hair done, and it was a communal kind of thing, right?
Yes.
It was a way of connecting with people and talking, and that's what it is. And like when people they've got that person that does their hair,
Hmm.
and they will travel. to get their hair done from that person. If they move, they're going to where that person is, right? A bit like Isabel Massey,
Yes.
who at the end when she's like, oh, and I met is it Candice? I think it was Candice.
Oh my God, what's her name again? Oh my God, yeah,
Yeah, her
the
hair.
lady that had the, yeah, what's her name again?
Mm,
I know that part, yeah, and she said that this is the best, the best thing that happened in her life, regarding her hairstyle, her
yeah,
hair, regarding her hair, um, I think styling or something like that. What's her name again? Oh my God, I forgot her name.
no,
Candice?
I thought it was
Denise. Denise.
Denise.
Denise.
Yes, that was it. Yeah, because
Denise.
Denise was also mixed race. So
Yes.
she understood how the hair works and how to look after it. And that was always the thing, right? And I think it's always interesting where you grow up. Because if you grow up somewhere where you're not the minority, there are a load of things that will speak to your culture, speak to your heritage. So going to get your hair done, going to get, your favorite food, just all of these things are simple. But when you grow up somewhere and you are the minority and super minority, like where I grew up, I think there were, gosh, actually, I think we were the only black people
Oh
in the
wow.
spot. You know what I mean? And it was super funky. Like the National Front, which is like the English KKK, they
Oh
had a headquarters real close by. You know what I mean? So it was it wasn't the best place to grow up. You know what I mean? You just got people shouting, go back home, N word, any word,
oh
like
my.
all the words, right? They were using them and when you're a little kid, right? You're a little kid on your bike walking to the sweet shop, and then a grown people would just stop their cars and like shout at you. But so to get like a haircut, there was no one like you in the
Mhm.
area. So it's just like you go to like a white barber's and you can say, oh, I just want it cut, boom, boom, boom. And then they just do what the hell they want.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
you're
oh
done.
my.
And you're just like, I don't ask for this, but what can you do? You know what I mean? You're a little kid. So it's just like, yeah, it's weird, right? So that comfortability in doing anything is so important, and especially when it's something as personal and intimate as a haircut.
You want someone, yeah, you want someone that knows how to cut your hair. You want someone with who you connect, that understands you. Yeah, exactly. With Isabel, it was that she said that she would try different things. She tried relaxers. Her mom put
Mm,
relaxer in your head. She wanted to have afro. She couldn't get an afro
yeah.
because of the hair texture, right?
Mm,
So you understand, when she talked, you understand that, with what she was saying, that she had like a hard time fitting with her hair, in even in her community, because she was mixed. She tried like her mom's side, have the afro and different style that was, there, that was new, and then on her father's side, the relaxer to have to straighten her hair and stuff like that. So you see that she tried, and at some point when she met Denise, it's allowed her to stay kind of in that balance, because she met
mm,
someone that could cut her hair, s- and I think it kind of gave her also the confidence, to kind of accept,
yeah.
okay, this is my hair texture, and I find someone that can cut it, and this is the balance. This is where I have that balance. It's very interesting.
Mm.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah, we also heard from gosh, it was
I feel like I have, but usually it's so quiet here. I have my neighbors that decided that they're cutting grass, I think. So you might so it's
no, 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 it's all good. We can't hear anything. It's great.
you can't hear anything. Oh
Oh
thank
no,
God.
no.
Oh,
Yeah, don't
oh
worry, don't worry.
okay. Oh yeah, Jay.
But yes, Stephanie Adea, right, the hairstylist. But she was talking about cutting hair and
Yeah.
the difference between the tightness of the curl,
Yes.
right? And how much moisture like certain hairstyle, like types need and that kind of thing, which I don't know, to be honest, it's nothing I've ever thought about, but you're just like, that's so important, right? Having someone that understands and knows that kind of thing. So when you sit down and be like, oh, I'd like this, they go like, okay, well, your hair type, that might not be the best thing. Have you tried this? Or,
Mhm.
if you go and go, my hair feels a bit weird at the moment, and be like, oh, are you doing, and they can give you that advice, right? And that's really important.
Oh yeah. And and one of the I mean, Africa is a big continent with so many countries, and if you don't, see Africa, let's say you don't use the countries, okay? It's the
Mm,
continent, and you go by culture or by tribe. You have, so many different hair textures.
yeah.
It's so many different, like my background, my father's side, my father, like my grandfather was from the Dogon tribe. So the Dogon tribe, they live, in Mali and in some part of Burkina Faso, and they have a different hair texture. Okay. And my grandmother was kind of mixed. She had this half Fulani. So in French we call them pearl. They have that Fulani side, and Fulani have different hair texture too. You have Fulani that have hair like a European, and the European features everything, and it's different is the skin tone. So it's so we have that. So that mix, and with my dad and my mom, and give that mix gives give us, like, me, I have a different hair texture, my dad have different hair texture, my brothers have different hair texture. They have like it's so hard to explain. They have this with like curly hair, but big curl, but with the black skin, and it's the hair texture. It's so different, from the
Mm,
Maasai tribe to the Akan tribe to the. It's so, and I know they try to put that in categories. So you have A, B, C. The head texture, the Afro head texture. But this is not enough.
yeah.
You know, because there's so many different variation.
Mm,
It's so big. I mean, to understand, you can start with, oh, this is C4, A4, and that, and that. But in reality, I don't think we can even, understand the different. There's so many different texture. Oh, I'm losing this. So so her explaining, the more you have a big curl, maybe the less product you use, and the more you have small curls, different type of product. This is so important because
mm,
if you don't have the right product for your hair, it makes it's so hard to take care of your hair. You might want to shave it or complain or use relaxers that later on would give you some kind of disease or skin problems and stuff like that. So yeah. And I don't know if you remember the part where she was saying that she learned to do her own hair because she grew up,
yeah.
her mom didn't know how to do her. She mom used to do some traditional hairstyle, and people and kids were laughing at her at school because
Mm,
they were saying that she looked like she. her hair looked like spiders because
Yeah.
the mom was doing different hairstyle. So it's and with Stephanie, I think one of the things she was saying about her mom, not knowing what to do sometimes with her hair, it's like we have this um gap with slavery. What happened is that so many things, so many cultural things were lost, right?
Yeah.
Including hairstylish and stuff like that. So some generations didn't learn those because that gap, the person who was supposed to give that to say perpetuate that tradition, or to
Yeah, it's just like to pass it down, you know
pass
what I
it
mean?
down. Thank
It's
you.
like
To pass it down, we're not there,
yeah.
right? I'm gonna put my hearing back. I'm like, so, oh, oh my god. So so it create kind of a gap because I remember my
Mm,
mom. Yeah, my mom too. She some stuff that she does when we're little, like every two time in a week, and two time on Wednesday you get your hair done, and on Sunday you get your hair done. It's to be clean, tight.
yeah.
And so when you see the old pictures, the back then, how people used to do their hair, because women, this was a way for women to sit together and talk together and talk about what's happening in the village or in the community. How there's a wedding coming, what or this person had a kid, and what can we do? Talking about the
Mm,
community, how can we help this person? So we're sitting and doing each other hair, by communicate, by connecting together, also, connecting, creating bonds between community and people and stuff. So doing those hairstyle, and when you see the pictures of those hairstyle, I mean, it's like someone, it's so perfect. It's so many different design.
mm.
And some in some tribe, they kind of lost that because they can't reproduce those stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that I mean, that's the thing is, and it's interesting because you don't ever hear this, right? Now, I've watched so many documentaries and things and heard people talk about like language
Yeah.
and the fact of, you know, you have this space,
Mm-hmm.
but within this space, it's not just one group of people, right? There are so many different tribes. And then just over the hill, that tribe has got a different dialect, right? A
Yes.
different pronunciation of words.
Yes.
So you can go, there could be, say, 50 different tribes in this one space,
Yep.
and they might not be able to understand each other. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? But
Yes.
because none of that is written down, so when you have something like slavery or, you know, any other kind of forced migration,
Yes.
those things can be lost, right?
Absolutely.
So we know that, but it's never been broken down into, or you never then think, right, and add it onto what else could be lost, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you go,
Mm-hmm.
language could be lost. Yes, that makes so much sense. But you then don't think, oh, what are those other cultural things that get passed down, right? Like doing hair, cooking, right? Sewing, you know what I mean? Just that oral history. There's so many things that
So
will
many,
get lost.
so
But
many things.
it's not until your documentary that I was just like, oh, yeah, obviously. That makes so much sense.
Hmm. I mean, the African story. When I say African, I include everyone that feel like Afro-Caribbean or
Yeah.
African American. I mean, at some point, humanity came from there. I mean, until someone prove it wrong, I think still now this is what's um um and the culture before slavery, before so many things, now we know that so many things happen with the
Mm,
people, with the community. We know that people used to oh my God, I mean, the medicine, the community structure, the women right, or men right, or men, like everyone in the community had, something to do.
Yeah.
Either, you, if you're a doctor, your family is the doctor family, so you kind of, you are like my grandfather, for example, on my dad's side, my grandfather was a healer. He was a healer, and he was also the chief of the village.
Right.
So when someone was sick, you go to the healer. So it was passed down from generation to generation.
Mm.
So those people are the healer, the family. And if you were, how you call it, the people who would, like, the warriors, I mean, everyone, in every family, there's one people's gonna, they're gonna take one person that's gonna
Yeah.
work on the military, or stuff like that. But you had, like, when someone died, there was a family that take care of the disease. They know what to do. So, like, every group, everyone in the village, in the community, everyone had a role, and that role was passed down generation to generation. So the healer family, the, how you call it, the how you call the those who build the how you call it again? We call it forgeron. They build the weapon. How you call it?
The build the what? The
The weapons, like they use to go to
Oh,
war.
like the crafts people. Like
Like,
the craft.
yeah, tough people. So you had like those family. Every family had the mission, and this
Mm.
this this is passed down generation to generation, right? So when slavery happened and all that happened, and the people were taken, and the the more, healthier people, men and women, were, everyone up on the boat and shipped away.
Yeah.
Well, they left with all that, and somehow you can find some of that tradition that was back then in Africa, in the Caribbean, and you find it on uh, in the French islands, in the US. The food.
Mm.
Sometimes when I go, sometimes, like, I went to Martinique. We did we interview a woman in Martinique,
Yeah.
and I've tasted some food. I'm like, oh my God, you guys eat, yuca, you guys eat bananas, you guys eat, the food remind me of some of the food we eat back home, right? The connection. And I'm like, the connection is still there, just a little bit,
Mm.
there's a lot of distance and a lot of, maybe disconnection somehow, but somehow there's a little connection through food, to hairstyling, to clothing, people wearing some kind of clothes, the way they dressed. I mean, my mom had some. I remember when I was younger, there was some type of clothes she would wear, and when I went to I think it's Cuba, and I saw this woman on the market. She was a black man. Like, oh, there's a black people in Cuba, and there's a guy that you said the someone said, yes, there's black people in Cuba. And said, oh, really? And he said, yeah. I said, they live in this part of Cuba. This is
Mm.
what they do. This beautiful woman, she was selling, I think, peanuts, and I was like, oh, this is the first time. I thought they would, mixed with Spanish and stuff like that,
Yeah.
or and he said, no, you can find this black people's black skin, and I was like, oh my God. And the way she was dressed, the way she, everything. And I'm like, "God, this is like my auntie back home."
Mm.
There's still that connection, with hairstyle, with that proof that somehow we all are connected to this continent that's Africa, right?
Yeah, because it's funny. I was thinking about this. I think it was like maybe last year or something. But because I was looking at recipes,
Yeah.
and I was like trying to work out like how many different types of there was a veg. I can't remember what it was, but I was looking, and then when I looked, and you see the countries
Hmm.
where you find this vegetable, and you realize it's along the slave route.
Oh yeah.
right? So that's part of it, right? How, and you see how like colonization and the Commonwealth and these things impacted, because then all of these countries along this route have
Mm.
got certain aspects that are kind of universal, right? They all have, say, plantain, or they all have onion, and you know what I mean, like, or a melon, or a something, something, something.
Yes.
So when you think, okay, there's this type of food that
Mhm.
is synonymous to all of these countries, so then it would make sense that hairstyles, clothing, you know, certain words would also be a connection in all of these places too.
Yeah, and even even the spiritual access aspect. Sorry, when you see like voodoo, right?
Mm,
When you go to many you go to Haiti, I think, in what's part again, there's many country that outside Africa that use voodoo, maybe in different ways, but spiritually, there's that connection too. And when with some like back home, some people will say, oh, don't cut your nails at night. If you cut it,
yeah,
the bad spirit's gonna come. But I heard some woman, I think she was from what's your country again, and she was saying, oh yeah, don't do that at night. And when you go to the hair salon to do your hair, make sure that you take home with you the
yeah. Hmm.
everything that's falling from your head, because they can do bad things. So those suspicion, those stuff still, there's still a connection, the spirituality, so it's so interesting to see what was lost, but somehow, you can find like something, some of that, in different way somewhere, because those people cannot carry with them what they knew when they were taken, and then
Yeah.
they try to create that to the new world, right? Some so, the music instrument, the singing, the family, the way of talking to each others, and
Mm,
coming together. And I remember reading a book, I forgot the book name, and the book was saying that, during slavery time, um, they were kind of communicate with doing some hairstyle, right? And it was a way to kind of communicate some information, or you can, people will hide some stuff under the hair, and when they get someone, and and I was like, you know what? I think this is true, because I remember my mom when we were little, when my mom like would travel, she would hide, like she would split her money in like a four part. Okay, she will hide some under her head. Like she will put she will have a scarf, okay, a scarf, and she will hide some of that. She will put some under her socks, right? She will put some on her bra. And I was like, and she said, oh, in case something happened, if I, and she put the rest on her wallet, her bag. She said, oh, if
mm,
someone stole my bag, I still have some money. And I'm like, she was like in like a surviving like mode. When she travels, she's like in surviving mode. Like anything that
mm.
happen, she will have some money or any some document with her. So, and I was like, you know what? I think that's might have happened. People,
Yeah,
yeah.
it does make sense.
I mean, it makes sense for me.
Mm,
It makes sense for me, but who knows, right? Uh, if I can hide gold, because I'm traveling and someone might steal it or something like that, I would do it. I
mm.
would do it under my hair. I would hide it, and yeah, who knows, right? It's like people hiding some stuff from this. What do you call it? They hide it during World War Two or One, or the people hide stuff under one of the two, and the fake one, and hide it.
Yeah, yeah,
And if they get caught or something like that, because they don't want to say that, oh, I'm working for this agency or that or this person, you just have to chew it, and then you're dead, and they don't know what happened. So I'm like, why not?
mm,
They took it somewhere, and somehow someone thought about it, and like, this is a good idea. Let's try this.
yeah. I mean, because it doesn't have to be like, it could be a certain twist style, right? And you just attach a code to it, right? So if your hair is twisted in a certain way at the front, it means this, right?
Yes.
Like it could be anything. So I think, yeah, it does make sense, right? There's different ciphers in so many different things that you just don't always think about. So hair, yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not? I mean, it's the first time, when you meeting someone, it's the first time, you're gonna see the person face, shake hand, but you're seeing the face and the eyes, but what everything's happening, you
Mm,
can. So it's kind of, say, it's not the first thing people will see, but maybe the second or the third thing they will see on your face. I mean, there's a dress and stuff like that, but when they say hi to you and they look at you, they will know if you don't have hair or if you have hair or whatever So it just
mm,
the first look, right? So, and I
yeah.
think this also, what people used to judge sometimes, people with braids or locks, dreads, so they just judge you by seeing you wearing that and say, oh, this
Mm.
might be a bad person or this person is a drug dealer, so it's an easy way to stereotype someone.
Yeah, I think that was another thing, right? When just talking about like these preconceptions people would have with hair, because oh gosh, it was uh Kitely and Anton, she talked about that kind of thing, about being told that if you have your hair in braids, if you have your hair in dreads, it's going to impact your ability to get work. If it's not straightened, it's going to do this, right? So it was all of those things, because I remember that growing up, right? Like people
Mhm.
often saying, if you have your hair like this, people aren't going to want to be around you. And it's funny because Kelly Arkenful, right, the
Yeah,
real
Kelly,
Afro
yeah,
crew, and she was talking and saying how refreshing it was hearing her students talk about their connection with their hair, and that they didn't have that when they were growing up. So it's just like how these things have changed. There is more of an acceptance to have different hairstyles in the workplace, right? But I think it's one of those things where it's just dependent on the people in charge, right? And the people
yeah,
recruiting, because the amount of times the person recruiting is, whether consciously or subconsciously, but they're, you know, looking for people that look like them,
yes.
right? And it's because you can go into some offices and you see a load of people that look very similar.
Mhm.
And that's why, because the person is looking for similar people. And I remember I was recruiting for a member of staff, and I had, you have to have someone from HR sit in. And so we're listening to having all of these different people come and talk. And there was this one guy. He was just yeah, because I'm looking at everyone, and it doesn't matter your race, your gender, your sexuality. I just want someone that can do the frigging job, because they're going to
Yeah,
be my assistant. So
mhm,
you know what I mean? You got to be competent, right?
yeah.
And the HR guy is this. He was this middle-aged white guy, and this white guy came to interview, and he seemed fine, right? But he had no real interest in the job.
Huh.
no real because he was an animator, right? When I was looking at his CV and looking at his qualifications, he was an animator, and I was like, oh, like I can see, man, you went to this, university and you studied
Mhm,
like
mhm.
all of this. That's great. Like, so why did you decide to choose marketing? And he's just like, I just want a job.
Oh,
And I'm like, okay. And every time I tried to get more information out of him, he was just like, yeah, just do this, just that. No, yes. And that's all it was all the way through. He had no interest, right? He's gone. So then you do you do a quick little assessment, you write down your faults and everything like that. And the HR guy's like, yeah, I think we could hire him. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about? You know what I mean? He had no interest, but he looked like the HR guy.
ah, so
So you know what I mean? And then we had all these other people that did not look like the HR guy, didn't really have as much interest in them,
mm,
where I'm just looking for someone that has an idea and a passion and hunger for the work, and he's not looking at it like that.
it's like I just want the job, just the
Yeah.
money.
So I think that's always the problem, right? So if you come to a workplace with dreads, and you're sitting in front of someone with, a crew cut or something, and they're gonna be like,
Mm-hmm.
but someone else comes with that same hairstyle and they'd be like, oh, twins, yeah, come work for us.
Yeah, it's really, yeah, it's very much that, right? It's some, if you were a white guy with the locks and, or trying to imitate maybe a dread, or what, and
Mm.
you go to some places and, oh, that's cool, you have dread, oh, you
Yeah.
know oh, wow. But you see a black guy coming in with the locks, and
Oh,
that, I think the
hide
first thing,
hide your wallet. Hide your wallet. It's trouble. This is trouble.
Is this trouble?
Yeah.
I think this guy, it was a drug dealer. I don't think
Hmm.
I don't think you're gonna fit to what's they say there? I don't think I think we're gonna go in different direction. I don't think you're gonna
Oh
fit
my
with the
God.
team, right? We
Ugh.
we, we love we love you have a lot of experience. We love your CV, your resume, your CV was great. Oh my God, um, you done such great job, but we decided that we're gonna go in a different direction. This is
Yeah. I have
always.
heard that so many
I
times.
know, right? This
So
is
many times. Or even, you know what? You are so qualified. We think you might get bored, right? So we're not going to give you the job because we don't want you to get bored. And it's just like, wait, what? Like,
they
I can
decide
read the
for you.
person spec. I wouldn't
Yeah,
apply for the job if I think I'm going to get bored. Like, what are you talking about? You
yeah,
don't know me. You don't know what's in my head. How are you making that assumption?
right. They decide for you what's better for you.
Mm-mm.
Even though you came to see them, you want the job, but they decide for you and tell you what's better for you. We can't offer you the job. It's just yeah. So this is, I tell my brothers and all the time, I say, when you go to a job and stuff like that, make sure that you clean, cut your hair. I mean, it's cut
Yeah.
your hair, do it like that. You want the job. My sister live in Lyon, and in France, Lyon, and I remember when she arrived there the first time. I told her, I said, you know what, you want to find a job? She said yes. I said, okay, you have to make sure. I say, I know you dress nicely, but your hair can be a problem.
Mm.
And she's like, "Oh no, I don't think. Yeah, I see many people here. I see many people here." I said, "Yeah, depending on the job you want to do." I said,
Yes.
"If you want to do," but she was looking for HR. I said, "If you want to do this job, HR, buy yourself a wigs, whatever,
Hmm.
you keep your natural hair down there, you know." I said, different person have the reason why they're wearing wigs. Some people it's disease, some people it's different. I said, yours gonna be for the job, okay? It's not that you don't love yourself. You love yourself, but it's going for the job. I said, wear the wigs, buy a nice one, short, nice one, clean, and go with that.
Mm.
And in the beginning, she was like, no, I don't know. I really not want to be myself. I said, okay, fine. And one day she came back. She said, oh, you know what? Can you find me a wigs? Maybe
Mm.
send this one. I said, you know what? Go on Amazon. I want to buy one for you and send it to you, and you use it. And this is what we did, right? So I understand for her it was hard to understand that we never had that challenge before. We grow up, nobody tells you that you're African. I mean, we grow up, we're human, right? But when you go outside, you're a black person. You just you kind of suddenly discover that you're a black person, right?
Yeah.
And you have to deal with that, right? So it can be overwhelming, and you might find it hard to accept it. Then it takes time to accept that you have to change, not that on the way maybe you want it, but to start you have
Mm.
somehow need to change to start, and then after that, when everything is stable and stuff like that, it's not that you're losing yourself to you just pause it. You just when you go to the job, when you go outside your house, you wear a different
Yeah.
you're a different
Like,
person. When you get home, you take the wigs and you throw it.
mm. Well, I think, you have to understand certain things, right? Certain things are a possibility, certain things aren't. Certain things
Yeah.
need some sort of adaptation, right? Because I could have, be like Mr. T, right? I could have a
Mm.
mohawk, right? And be a tattoo artist. I could be a graphic designer.
Yeah.
Trying to be a lawyer with a mohawk. You know what I mean? Now, if I get in, now I might start at a law firm with just an afro, right? Boom, that's fine.
Mhm.
And if I come in like a year into the job with a mohawk, they can't necessarily sack me, but I'm gonna find it hard getting clients. When the clients come to the office, they can choose which lawyer they want representing them. They're
Absolutely.
gonna choose my colleague. They're not choosing me.
Yeah.
They're gonna see the mohawk and go, I think we'll go with Steve. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I think Steve sounds like he's experienced, and you're thinking, I've got more experience than Steve. What are you talking about?
Mhm. Mhm.
Why aren't you picking me? It's because I've got a fucking mohawk,
It's
right?
crazy, huh? It's crazy. It's like I used to have that, not that used to judge people, but because growing up, my parents and people, and don't get the tattoo. It's
Yep,
bad.
yep,
It's
yep.
bad for your skin. I mean, I didn't understand about that it's bad for your skin and stuff like that. I mean, there's so many things that are bad, but we keep doing it, right? We should just choose what you wanna do, even if it's
Mm.
bad. But it's we can't always do good stuff. Sometimes you gotta do some bad stuff, and this is part of being human, right? And and I remember when I used to judge, kind of judge people a little bit with the tattoo, and like, oh, how you gonna find a job, with the tattoo?
Mm.
This is bad for you. With it, I had that, and somehow I don't know. Maybe when I came here in Canada, I started talking. I had this chance to talk to people, that have tattoo, and it's for different people, having a tattoo have different meaning. How I lost my
Yeah.
friend, I did a tattoo. It's for way of remembering them, or this is a way of me putting something to cover myself because I don't feel safe. There's so many, stories, different the tattoos and why people doing tattoo. And I started, understanding, the why, and not judging. Because I grew up people telling me, and at school, I remember my teachers, don't get a tattoo, it's bad for
Yep.
you. If you get tattoo, you will not get a job. So it kind of stay in my head. So I had that. But talking to people that have tattoo and stuff like that, oh, okay, it's not because
Mm.
it's they're doing it because they want to do it. They like, it's nothing. They're not doing nothing bad to someone else. It's just they're doing it, on themselves. It's their body, and you have to accept people, doing that, and accept them as a human. Having a tattoo doesn't mean those people are less qualified than someone that doesn't have a tattoo,
No,
right?
no, it's just another form of expression,
Yeah.
right? It's kind of like we could be talking about films, right? And I could be like, oh, do you like, uh, I don't know, Lord of the Rings?
Hmm.
And you go, I hate Lord of the Rings. I'm not going to be like, I don't trust Havida, man. She don't like Lord of the Rings. I can never trust her. She seems weird. Yeah, I don't, gonna steer clear of her. We don't do that,
Hmm.
right? You don't judge people and select, I mean, the way that you interact them on certain things. Be like, oh, you don't like, you know, rice and peas. Oh, I can't hang out with you. Right? We don't do that. But if you've got a certain hairstyle, if you've got tattoos, right? If you've got piercings, these are things that people feel comfortable doing those things around.
I mean, and more, I mean, people now are less, I think people are judging less. I think so.
I
Um,
th-
I
I
think.
think people judge on different things now, right? I think people kind of accept tattoos more, you know? I think people kind of accept hairstyles more, but people are judging on like religion, political views, and different things, right? So it's kind of shifted, and it's still a bit odd, right? Because instead of going, oh, you believe in this thing, we just won't talk about that thing. We choose to agree we differ on that subject. A lot of people are like, you shouldn't have a job because you believe this. It is bonkers, right? It makes no sense. It's just like, fine, we don't agree on this one thing. Who cares? There's so many other things that we agree on, we can talk about.
Yeah,
But let's concentrate on those things. Why are we concentrating on the one thing that is very different? You know?
exactly.
Now,
Yeah,
there are certain things where it's just like, if you do believe in that one thing, then maybe, right? Because I think it's like when I was looking at the stuff you've done, like your first work, right, about female genital mutilation,
yeah,
which, whew, I mean, that is just terrible, right? That's a terrible thing. So if I was just like, you know what, I think that all girls should have that. Yeah, you can definitely be like, yeah, he's a piece of shit. Let's keep care of him, right? But I think on other things, it's just like, okay, we don't agree. Fine, you know?
yeah, yeah. I mean, if you're doing something that will put someone's life in danger, right?
Mm,
I mean, it's different than, me having my afro to go to work, or
yeah.
it's different. But you're putting, a little girl life in danger because you want to control her sexuality, or you want to control her pleasure. So you're creating that handicap. Giving
Mm,
her that you won't stay around to help her, or you will not. It's you. It's for yourself. It's not
yeah.
even for her. But that's a different story because it is putting her life in danger. What if she, when she grow up, she want to have a kid, or
Mm,
maybe she will never be able to have a partner because she's afraid of, having a man. It's
Yeah.
so it's that's different, like things like you said. So people, sadly, um sometimes when things don't happen to people, they feel like it's like far from them. When they feel like this is, I remember people saying to me, oh, female mutilation, it's we don't do it here in Canada, it's happen in Africa. And
Mm.
I'm like, this doesn't happen just in Africa, it's happening in
Yeah.
Asia. It's happened in, it's in Colombia. There's some people in Colombia that does that. So it's you cannot just say this is because this is far from me, doesn't concern me. Everything that's
Mm.
happened in the universe and like everywhere affect everybody, right?
Of
and
course.
and sadly, what's happening, sadly, some people, when they immigrate or go in some
They're
places, they're
continuing
not.
those practices
Yeah, they,
in the country they end up
yeah.
in. Yeah.
Even if you tell them that this is bad, and if if you didn't know how bad this is, and people tells you that this is bad, you have to use your brain, right,
Mm.
and adjust it, and you starting a new life. Well, you start a new life, right? But coming here in a different culture, bringing your culture, we're okay. I'm okay. I came here with my culture. There's some stuff I don't want to do.
Yeah.
I don't need to bring it. I have to let it go. But bringing that here and trying to do
Mm.
that thing here, this is bad. This is kind of, I would call it, this is a bad way of doing immigrating and going somewhere. And sadly, what's happening here in Canada, there's some people, they try to take a young, born Canadian, born in here, go back home in country, and have them cut, sadly. Or bringing, we had a story that the kind of the community put together, some people in the community put together some money, and the woman that do the cutting came in Canada and did it and left. So it became a rumor, so we trying to find what happened. But because in the community people are so good hiding stuff,
Mm.
right? Even sometimes, and sadly, they hide stuff so well. If there's stuff that we need to talk about it to create a change, and they hide it, you cannot create that change, right? Change cannot happen when you hide something, right?
No.
So in
And you
fact,
don't want to talk about if it happened
yeah,
to you,
yeah.
you feel embarrassed, you feel ashamed. So you're not gonna, be like, hey everyone, this thing happened to me.
uh,
No, you feel like if you're, if it's a like, because sometimes they do it to babies, but sometimes they do it to girls,
yeah.
right? Women. So if that is the case, those people don't necessarily want to advertise how they've just been abused.
Oh no, they don't want to. I
Yeah.
mean, in that documentary I did, I was lucky to find, women, and that they open, the universe. I would say that they open the universe, the life, and
Yeah.
allowed me to talk about the issue, because they want things to change. They don't want, there's so many women coming here in Canada with the refugee statue, because they don't want the little girl to be cut, so they come here. And thank God now in Canada, I think that they they accept the women that come with the girl, because they don't want the girl to be cut. In
Mm.
some country it's almost 100% of the girl that's being
Yeah.
cut, and this is for what? For a pleasure, thinking that because she will not have a pleasure, she will be I don't know, a good wife. um
Well, it's
it's,
it's a control mechanism,
oh
right?
yeah.
Like all of these things, when you break, it's just control. It's like, okay,
It's a
no,
different.
yeah, there's
I,
other things, but it's just like, it's you're not trying to attack a religion, but there are just certain things within certain things which I'm just like, okay, if a woman has to cover up because it's about the man's desire,
mhm.
isn't that on the dude? You should just be able to control yourself, right? If I'm, if we were married, right, and another girl walks in the room, I'm not going to be like, hey, oh my God, there's another girl here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I'm
Mhm.
committed to you.
Yes.
So I'm like, someone else could walk into a room with no clothes on, but I'm still committed to you. So I don't care because you're the only person I've got eyes for in that way. So if you're cheating, that's not, you weren't tempted, you weren't, you know what I mean? I can't cheat with someone else if I have no interest in that person because, biology shit don't work. You know what I mean? You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
It's like
Nobody
this,
force you, right? To say,
that's
oh,
the
you
thing.
know.
Certain things have to be, for me
And
to do the thing, right?
yeah, yeah,
So if I have no interest, that ain't happening, right?
exactly.
So that's on me. Unless
Yeah.
someone slipped me Viagra or something,
Hmm.
like I'm not doing anything, right? So for me to cheat, I made that choice. It wasn't the woman because she wore this outfit, her hair was in this way. It's like, no. So I just think there are a lot of these things that are done. It's control. It's
It's a
pure control.
it's a control, and they use religion as an excuse.
Yeah.
It's control because when you don't question religion, you have to
Hmm.
accept, and so when people say, oh, this is religion, they add it to religion, so you don't question it, right? So
Yeah.
they use religion. Like last month or this month in Somalia, I think it's Somalia, the government banned marriage of the girl under 18. If I'm not
Mm.
mistaken, I think it's Somalia. If I'm mistaken, maybe it's the wrong country, but I think if I'm correct, it's the right country. And the man went out to march, and in 48 hours, the government changed the law back. This is crazy. So it's not even the religion. It doesn't have nothing to have with religion.
No.
A king killing his wife because she can have a boy, and killing because he wants to. They're having girls, and
Yeah.
it's therefore if they're having girls, it is not religion. It's a man
No.
desire.
And it's the man's fault.
It's yeah.
You know
Thank
what I
God.
mean? That's the thing. It's just like, if I'm not giving you the right chromosomes, that's on me. Like, that's
Mhm.
not, if it's Henry VIII, that was his thing. You know what I
It,
mean? He was
yeah,
divorcing, killing wives. Because it's just like, you're not giving me a boy. But it's just like, yeah, that's you.
yeah. If you
That's
if you
your,
don't have the right seed,
yeah,
you
your
cannot bring.
sperm ain't working in that way. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So it's on you. And why do you want to marry someone under 18? I don't even want to marry an 18-year-old,
It's
right? I want to be able to conversate and connect with someone who's of a similar age or in a similar age bracket, right? But someone, I'm not looking at an 18-year-old thinking she could be Mrs. Scott. You know what I mean? I'm just like,
sometimes some
no.
men some men do have that. This is the sad part. This is right, the dark side
Mm,
of men. When you give some men the opportunity to do so, they will show you that they can do it, right? They will show you that they don't have any problem doing it. And
yeah.
it's a kind of allowing people to, the pedophile, allow
Mm,
them to do that, s- dirty, or bad, marrying a little girl. I mean, you're 45 and you're marrying a girl that is 15. To be
yeah.
honest, I know it doesn't make sense. So
No.
sadly, we're still in a world where it's the control of the woman body. Either it's a political, social, community, economic. We're still on that, you know circle of men trying to control that, making sure
Mm,
that they have advantage of that. And if it's yeah, I'm not putting all men in that, but we know that men are the one who uh, have more control, like, of what's happening in society, in the world right now. Well, I mean, it's happened before, but it's still that, right?
Mm.
Maybe back then when the society was more, how do they call it, matriarchal, mat the
Masculine?
matri how do they call
Like
it,
the matriarch.
matriarchal, yeah, matriarch, yeah. They will, talk with women before taking decision, because women were part of, still today, some culture do that, do still
Mm.
have that. They will talk with women and decide together. Yeah,
Yeah.
some cultures still have that.
But
Yeah.
it's a power thing, right? Because who was it? Is I think like there was a Melda Marcos
Mm,
who murdered so many people, right?
mm,
And there was another woman, I think in Colombia or Bolivia,
mm.
who was in charge, I think in the 80s or the early 90s, and killed so many people,
Oh
right?
boy.
So it's just like, it's mostly, I feel it's mostly men because of the way society is structured. And, men are able to get to that place of power. But if women get to that place of power, there's plenty of women that are going to do some nutty things. You know what I
I
mean?
mean, give us a chance, okay? Let us prove you wrong, okay? Because since the beginning of time, it's men, and we had Hitler, we had
Oh, yeah.
I
No.
mean, we had good and bad, but
Yes.
all the wars, everything was men that wanted to have power and stuff. Maybe, let me give us a chance to try
Oh yeah,
something.
no, I
Right?
don't. I do feel everyone should get an opportunity, right?
Yeah.
Because that's the thing with everything. I just think remove all the barriers for
Mhm.
people to be able to achieve something, and then see who's the best person for the thing. You know what I mean? That's what we should do.
Yeah, I mean, back then there were king and queens, right? And we know the queens, queens. I think if you do the math, they did the good stuff, did a lot of good stuff, So I think if women rules the world, I think great things gonna happen. We might
Maybe, maybe if the right person gets there,
the right
because
person.
you know what I mean. Like when you look at if you look at the states, right? Hillary
Oh,
Clinton, not the right person, right? Not the right person. She's done some pretty crazy things,
I mean,
pretty crazy, and
the
right.
family. I don't want to say it loud, but
But
all the family, the
well, yeah, the whole family's crazy. But she was one of the people that were like, Obama should show his passport. Right? She was one
oh
of
yeah,
those
she was, yeah.
people, right? And then Obama went and endorsed her, which I did not understand. I lost
Be-
respect for my man.
Because you know what, he may not be like a perfect person or perfect, because nobody's perfect, but the guy is very intelligent.
He's very intelligent,
He's
but right, and I understand, right? It's all about supporting the party and all of that kind of stuff.
yeah.
If someone had said that about me, I'm calling that person out, right? Because they're not the right person. They're not. And the crazy thing was, there was oh god, the Hawaiian lady
The
who's,
Hawaiian lady.
yeah, who's in the administration at the moment. I think
Right now she's not there anymore.
no, no,
Hawaiian
no, no, no.
Hawaiian lady.
Yeah, she's got a white streak in the hair, but she used to work in the army as a nurse, and
Oh my God.
I can't think of her name. God
Oh my
damn it.
God. Uh.
Oh, it's really
Oh,
irritating.
I forgot her name. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But she would have been the better person, but they didn't want to give the job to her.
Yeah,
Right?
they
So
choose.
it's
Yeah, they choose
so
Hillary
that's
over
what
her.
I'm saying. It's about choosing the right person. Hillary not, her possibly. Right? But Yeah.
But and I feel like at some point, I think I don't like talking politics, but
Yeah.
I feel like every society, every big country, every uh have a way at a point where it starts to go, and then come
Yeah.
up. I feel like United States are in that, they kind of, and they will rise again. But
Oh,
I
yeah.
think they kind of reached that point, because I think and this happened in every big society, every big, you look at the pyramid in Egypt, you
Hmm.
look at the king, the big empires,
Yeah. They
some
always
point,
fall.
yeah, at some point it's happened, and it's just everything have to, restart in different way. I think we are in that kind of, because everywhere in every country that's happening, everything is changing a way of doing things,
Mm.
and with AI and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
people, the meaning of, going to work, having a job, and not thinking, okay, am I uh, am I the right person to do the job? Would they be taking AI to do the job? They will be have, what's gonna, am I losing my job over AI, or
Mm.
what's gonna happen? There's so many that question. There's so many, things happening right now. I feel people, everyone, kind of finding the way of adjusting and moving forward. So, let's hope that um
Yes.
nothing bad happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
You know, it's interesting you just brought up Egypt because it reminded me of something that
yeah,
you had in your documentary that
yeah.
I've never heard anyone talk about, right?
Which one?
The headdresses.
Oh yeah, the headdress.
Like,
Yeah,
and I've watched so many things about Egypt and ancient civilizations, and they talked about the pyramids, they talked
yeah.
about the pharaohs, the Sphinx, like just all of these different things. But I've never heard that about the head. That was so fascinating.
That was interesting, hey? That
Mm,
woman, Juliette Smeralda, she's been, writing and doing research about Africa, and she's, I think she wrote like a 2 or 3 books about African heritage connected to hairstyle and hair
right.
texture and stuff like that. And yeah, she was saying, what, this represented power. She said, everyone in the community had, the different hairstyle to show, if you are the king, or you are the king from the king family, or you are, I don't know, you are a healer.
Mm,
What's your role in the society? Are you ready to get married? And this happened, like that part happened in different, society, different community in Africa back then, different kingdom. you know you have different hairstyle. You ready to get married or not, or you're married, or you had, those different hairstyles. So the king will, wear that, and it has different design, gold, and different, precious, stuff in it. And this was, that it's a power. It shows, that this is like, okay, this is the king wearing that. This is the power. This is the head of, the
yeah.
kingdom. you know and and she said that later, that on many people kind of copy that and did wigs and were wearing
Mm,
wigs to kind of, and even, that when you see back in Egypt, how you call it, the king had what do you
oh,
call
the
it,
scepter.
the scepter. I
Yeah.
mean, it's been copied by,
Mm, mm.
Western societies. So, it was fascinating, her talking about this and doing the connection between actual hairstyle, that people still do when you go to Sudan and the Maasai and stuff like that, and showing the hairstyle and the on the, that you see on the pyramids, and the painting on the pyramid, and the actual
Yeah, the
people still
hieroglyphics
doing
and
that.
like
It's,
that.
it's so interesting seeing the connection. And I also think she spoke about, I think, the Roman. I think, like they were trying to do their hair like look like an
Oh,
afro.
yes. Yeah, the curls,
The
yes.
curls, yeah, kind of
Mm.
some kind of perm to have kind of, this afro texture hair. I didn't knew that. It was something
No, I'd seen it, but I didn't know that was the reason behind it.
kind of fighting me. Oh boy. Why people never learn to don't talk to you when you're not connected? They keep, they keep sending me. It's like, I'm off today. I'm not responding to anybody. Give me a break. Just a break, right? And you keep sending me texts. Oh my God. It's like, if I'm not responding, that means I'm so busy. Oh, I saw it. I just decided that I don't want to respond to you. So I'm flexing. Just leave me alone. No, but yeah, it's I've learned, like, oh my God, it's this project started with me, wanted to learn different hairstyle for my natural hair, right?
Right.
And I was like, oh, I don't want to put, those relaxers to, have
Mm,
disease and stuff, because, I think 2 or 3 years ago I was reading, and this the many women suing this company, the relaxers company, because they had the, different disease, and I was like, oh my God, and it's, I think, since 2020, since 2010, I've decided that I'm not adding anything, any chemical on my hair, right? So
mm,
I was cutting my hair short, and at some point I've let my hair grow, and I was like, what to do with that? What to do with that? Right? And but looking, okay, let me find on YouTube some hairstyle, start, trying to do some hairstyling, and doing those research, just kind of discovered those pictures. I'm like, oh, this is from Congo, and I saw those. This is like someone building in a house, and like an action, the architecture of the it's a design, the design. I'm like, what the hell? What's that? Right? And start asking questions, looking for more information, discovering new hairstyle. I'm like, oh, okay. And you see that, babe, oh, this is 1904. Okay, oh, okay, okay, this is. I'm like, oh, wow, okay. And discover those pictures, men's, women, the design, like those people knew how to,
mm.
shape their hair. They knew how to, stylish and do stuff. I'm like, okay. And I'm like, I can't wear those hairstyles. I don't think I can do that. This is like too much for me. This is like, they were nice. I'm like, if I wear those, people are gonna laugh at me. But at the same time, I was so proud. I'm like, okay, this is a proof that, before the Western society discovered the continent or whatever it is, we had stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
This didn't happen overnight. We had stuff, long,
Mm.
long time before. So, and I start talking to people. I'm like, oh, I start sending the image to people. I say, do you see that? This is from Congo. This is from Zanzibar. You see that? I'm like, oh, this is nice. And people, we start, doing, looking, for hairstyle and sending each other pictures, right? And I'm like, you know what? Let's do a documentary. Let's do a documentary. Let me do research and find more about this. And I went to Detroit, to the Museum of Detroit, the African American Museum. Took some pictures, learned some stuff. It was great. Came back, as continue, read some different books, discover a lot of, I'm like, okay. And the hard part in doing this documentary was what to tell, because I had so much
Yeah, I can
information.
imagine.
And if I wanted to put everything I discover, it would be like a 4 or 5 hour documentary. Nobody
Mm.
sit and, oh, people, come on, people. It costs even money. They're not even giving me money, right? This is this, and you know what doing that? This is the group. This is the group I've created when I start the development of the project. This is the group, and they've been sending, because it's gonna be on October 27th, right?
Yes.
We've been sending each other the pictures we took at the screening, the private screening we did. They are sending the look. This is the group, okay? And it's what's interesting. I tell you what I've learned in that group. Oh my God! Look, the everything is there. I don't even know. They sharing information. I don't even. You know what? Let me. They're sending, sharing the link, everything. It's. Look. So what what we did when we're doing the research and development is that I had people from different backgrounds of people from the Caribbean. I had people who trying to connect to the ancestors, trying to connect to the roots. Never been on the African continent. But embracing the root, the culture, and we choose different hairstyle from kind of different countries,
Right,
and
right.
they kind of we will produce those hairstyle, on different hair. I'm like, this is from that this period of time. This is that they used to wear this for a ceremony, and da, 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 da. And they loved it. It's like there was so much emotion, so many emotions. Like, oh, this is kind of me connecting to my root. Thank you for allowing me to connect, by doing this hairstyle.
Mm.
And I was like, okay, and this is the moment I've like kind of discovered that I'm doing something interesting and great. And I'm like, okay, this is gonna be good because those people are connecting to this. This is just, photo shoot, we're producing some hairstyle and doing photo shoot, and we have that emotion, that vibe. And I was like, okay, I have to this need to be a documentary.
Okay. So, what was the thinking behind doing a 75-minute documentary over maybe say a 4-part limited series?
Oh, the money.
Yeah. Right, right. Yeah.
The money.
I mean,
I
say no
mean,
more. I get that. I
I'm
get that.
open to do 4 part, right? If Netflix come in and say, hey, you know what, we like this, and there's many documentary about hairstyle, African American hairstyle, and that have been done in the US, but this is kind of focused on US, and it's very US. Of course they talk about Africa and many things that happen, but it's very like African American.
Yeah.
And what I did with this is like I wanted to include like the Caribbean, I went to the French island, Martinique, to have the perspective, and so this you have this mix of kind of like somebody said that you share many small information, and then everyone can use what they want, go and do more research and learn more about what you said,
Mm,
because you're giving information for everyone. She said you talk about the US, you talk about different island. She said you put everything there, so even someone that is curious can find more information about. So the money, I'll be open to do like, oh, the Caribbean, I would go to Martinique, like Cuba, I would do that, section, just that, go to Africa, do like many countries, the Benin Kingdom, the Nigeria, do something.
mm.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But you know what? You know what? Thinking about it, Habita. So this drops on the 27th, right?
Yeah.
And I think people are going to really enjoy it. They're going to gravitate to it. And then, someone like Disney's going to come over to you and be like, yo, we really like that. How about we do a series, right? So do a TV series, maybe call it The Many Crowns of the Diaspora,
Oh,
right?
I would love
So
that.
do that. But Avida, there's always a but. I think you need a male to help you present and give that different perspective. So I am willing to make time in my calendar, right, to fly out with you and explore all of these places.
I'm okay with
I am
that, David.
willing to take that time out of my busyness to help you out.
I'm okay with that, Kevin. I feel like this is the collaboration I was looking for, right? I think this is what we need. So the next step, It's the many crown, okay? The many crown. We go, look, this is fantastic. We just need the money. I think if you have the money, we go, everywhere. We explore the detail, the texture, the material, everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. We can even go in China, right?
Yeah, everywhere.
You
Ev-
know, there's some, I think, years ago, there's many people in China trying to reproduce, the Afro, then they had this
mm,
product they use. Oh, it'll be so fun. We'll have so much fun.
mm,
Let's make it happen.
yeah. Because it is like, I don't know, cultural footprints, as it were.
Absolutely.
You know what
And
I mean?
yeah, yeah.
It's
It's
it's kind
yeah.
of like a heritage DNA around the world because we're seeing this influence. We're seeing how, like Africa is connecting like a web with all of these different places.
and and then, like, with social media today, it's like the connection is fast. People discover things and learn very fast, share
Mm,
information so fast. And like, I have people contact me, it's texting me on Facebook. Oh, I've created this brand, this product. It's a natural product for hairstyle. I'm happy. I can't wait to see the film that I did. So the people, and because it's in French, right? So they kind of have the version of talking about hair in French. This is why what excite most of those people, right? And I wish we had more money to shoot more stuff, make it, I feel like it's not complete. Maybe there's a part two, who knows? Like you said, with the Netflix or Disney, right? We do a part two where we maybe study the design, the design,
mm,
the we go and try to reproduce the some, we meet with big design head designer, and we challenge them to produce some hairstyle, right? Why not? That's kind of
yeah.
interesting.
I
Yeah.
mean, there's so many ways it can go because there's so many things that this just 75 minutes kind of opened up, right? What I thought was fascinating was the oh gosh, what was it called again? It was the hair party workshops.
Oh yeah, with the kids.
Such a great idea because there's so many people, and it's not because the parents don't love the kids, right? But if you are, you're working so many jobs, right, to keep everything afloat. If you're a single parent trying to do all of this stuff, there's not the time, right, to sit down with your kid and be like, okay, I'm going to plait your hair because it's going to take hours. And it's just like, well, I've got to go to work at 3, and right. And then I come home and I go to the next job, and I've just got enough time to cook you some food. And then I've got to go. So you don't have the time,
Yeah.
right? You want to do the thing, but where do I fit this in? So if the kid knows how to do the hair, right, it gives the kid, firstly, because when you're a little kid, you want a manner of autonomy around you, right? Because
Yeah.
you're getting told, right, this is what you're wearing, right? If you go, we're
Mhm.
going shopping, and you're like, oh, can I get this? Nope, I'm buying you this instead, right? And so you have no control. And it's as if your parents like, this is the haircut you're getting, but I want to
Mhm.
get. Nope, this is it. So if you know how to braid your hair, how to do all of this other, you get to do that, right?
Yeah, you get to do that. And you get to tell the parents, oh, I've learned this. I know how to do it. And and you do it with your mom or with your
Mm,
dad, and do when you guys do it together. There's, you're learning, okay? You're connecting
yeah.
you to parents, and that's a so great idea. I feel like this should be everywhere. I know
Mm,
in Canada there's a lady, Stephanie Odia. She told me that she started doing that with the kids. with the parents sitting, and this is where also learning how to communicate, what the kid wants, and how this is that, and it's teaching them to have confidence on themselves,
Yeah.
and love themselves, right? It's kind of part of the, because they will not learn that at school, right?
No.
It's a different way, yeah. So this is with the kid, and you see the little girl, okay, that when we ask them,
Mm.
because at the end, I decided to ask them the question. I asked the girl, say, ask them, I want to know, do they love their hair, and they start, responding, and the other guys like, yeah, half and half. I love it, but I don't love it. It's like,
Yeah.
why? And
But
she
then
said,
there was the little one that was like, at first I wanted straight hair, but
yeah,
after doing this, I really enjoy, you know what I mean? And it's just,
yeah,
yes, because this it's the thing, right? Because and as I said earlier, right? If you are the minority in an area,
mm,
you're seeing a certain style, right? A certain look, and
yeah,
you're the odd one out, right? And I think, I think something I learned as a kid, that you have to kind of be a chameleon, right? If you want to try and skirt under all the rubbish, all the BS. Because if you stand out, then people are throwing the words at you. They're pointing, they're saying different things. So you're
oh,
trying to fit in. You're trying to navigate this landscape.
absolutely,
So it's like, if there is this group, right, that you can go to and you learn about hair maintenance, you learn how to do these different styles and stuff like that. Firstly, it creates better self-esteem. It,
absolutely,
it will also help with actually learning, right? Because maybe a kid at school is just fidgety and blah, blah, blah. But if they go to this, then they're getting that foundation of sitting and listening, right? Which will
absolutely,
then translate to all the other things they do, right? It's building a group of friends, it's building a
yeah,
community, right? It's
hmm,
an umbilical cord to your heritage in a way,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
So it's just one of, like, you could do after school classes, right? These groups in schools. And because I always think, right, when people talk about stuff, like social
yeah.
media is damaging our kids.
Oh,
Like TV is bad for, it's not, right? Because a knife can be used to cut up food. It can also be used to stab someone, right? So
ex- exactly,
it's what we do with it. So why don't we? Because we know this is a thing, right? We know these things are problematic. I think there should be something at school, right? Social scaffolding. And you do this class 2 times a week until you leave school. And in this class, you learn how to communicate, right? You learn how to communicate with the opposite sex, which then you're teaching this stuff at an early age. You're not going to get people going, hey, baby, hey, come back to my. And if you go, no, I'm like, oh, she's only saying that. If I push further, she's gonna, no, because you've done this class, you understand communication. You'd be like, oh, right, I'm gonna back off. I shouldn't do that. Right, it will teach people how to navigate life, how to understand the differences that we have with each other, right? The differences be culture, the differences between religion, between sex, just all of these things.
absolutely, and that the girls will learn, and the little boy will learn too.
Mm,
That your little boy need to know how to talk to a woman. So
yeah,
if he learned that young, when he's young, and he grew up with that,
it
he'll be a
sticks.
better person, right?
Yeah, and because we know that if you teach languages to a young kid, they absorb it more than if you're, an older person trying to learn
Oh,
the language.
yeah,
So you teach all of this, but then you feed in things like hairstyles and stuff like that, all of these cultural differences, then people have an understanding of it, right? So you're not going to get, oh, Habita, what's that on your head? Why did you do that? Oh, it's funny how you can just change your hair
I
whenever
know,
you
right?
want, right? You're not, no one's saying stupidness like that because
Yeah.
they've understood it from an early age.
Absolutely, and you know what? Yeah, yeah. But I mean, you saw that there's in the Afro crew that girl who said that one of her teacher came and she was
Oh my
sitting
God.
and grab her head, her hair, and say, "Oh, what is this? You wearing extension?" And she's like, "Yeah, this is extension." Say, "Oh, yeah, this is not your hair, so you're gonna have and what you call it again, um."
I think
uh,
it was like a demerit or something like that, wasn't it? It
Yeah,
was
something like that. And she's like, no, but this is not someone hair. This is extension. You know,
like,
it's just. And she's like, oh yeah, but you know, it's because it's not you. And after that, she's like, oh, I'm joking. And the deal just like was like, no, this is you don't joke with something like that because she was afraid. You know, why would you
yeah.
just walk by someone sitting a kid and you do that and you joke around that, knowing that in society we still have issue.
Mm,
Black boys still have issue with the hair, with this it's still happening in
yeah.
sport, in school. And you go as a teacher, you know,
Hmm.
you're supposed to teach that in class and say, hey guys, you know, we you know, we all different but we all human. And but you go, you do that on someone sitting, you know, having her lunch, and you go, you say that because you're the teacher, so you use your power over her. And then after you said that, oh, this is a joke. What kind of joke is that?
Yeah, it's weird. Firstly, you've grabbed the hair, like
Yeah,
that's weird. But also because you're like, oh, it's a joke, right? So you're basically saying, don't say anything. I was messing around, right? Now, other people are seeing that and going, oh, if Mrs. Thingy can do that, I can do that.
exactly. And say, oh, I
So
was
you're
joking.
creating this weird precedent that anyone can just grab that girl's hair.
Yeah. And you know, there were other people, like you said, there were other kids with, you know, sitting because at lunch, you know, there's many people, you know, sitting there.
Mm,
So she didn't give the example she was supposed to. She kind of she did something opposite of what the teacher's supposed to be doing, right?
yeah.
So and you know, when the girl talk about it, this is something she will never forget, right? As
Mm,
yeah, the impact as a teacher are not supposed to be that. So this is the thing she will remember all her life about this teacher.
yeah. Well, remember, oh gosh, who was it? It was, I forget who it was, but there was a lady with her mother, right? And she was
Oh,
talking
Martin.
how in daycare, the teacher was just like, oh, bring a comb with you tomorrow. And she brought a comb and then got all the kids to stand in a line. And you saw how that
Oh my God.
years
Yeah.
later still impacted her.
Oh my God. Yeah, that Martin. I still I still cry every time I see that part. I still have, you know,
Mm,
um yeah, because she's strong. This woman you saw like crying with her mom. She's strong. She was in the military. She's a lawyer. She's the speaker of the president of the speaker of Montreal, right?
mm.
She's I mean,
Oh, yeah, she's an actress as well,
she's
isn't
an
she?
actress as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So she's like you see that
Mm,
strong character, that strong person, you know, with this you know background, and then she's sitting there. You know, when we started the documentary, she was just you know speaking with class. She was just you know you see the strong person that the strong you know not strong in a way like but you know you see her
yeah,
presence and stuff, and then you see her cry, you know, and every time I see that, you know, I cry also because you see her like trying to control the emotion, and she's like, I remember she said, "Oh, because her mom said, I don't think she told her mom the exact
no, no.
story. She did not, because when her mom said, "Oh, you told me that at school they said that your hair was like what you call it, like a cotton.
Yeah.
And she said, "Oh yeah, forget about it. I think my body kind of, tried
Mm,
it." So, and then she bring back the memories, and oh my God, this is
yeah.
it is so painful to see that. How can you ask a kid, 8 years old kid, to bring, come see and ask the other kids? So what did the other kid learn, that they can do that to someone?
Hmm.
You
The
know?
this person is below you, essentially. You can do whatever, right? That
Yeah,
person is a test subject.
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's treating someone like they are abnormal. And this is the thing. It's just like criticizing people around appearance that can leave a mark, right? Because it's funny, because we always had that saying as a kid, right? Sticks and stones can break my bones, but names can never hurt me.
Hmm.
That's what you heard,
That
right? So you were meant to, if someone called you a name, like Habita, you in a gray top, weirdo, weird. You know what I mean? You're meant to be like, whatever. You know what I mean? That doesn't mean anything. But those things can really impact us.
it hurts.
Yeah.
It hurts. And her was, she's, I mean, you're supposed to, your teacher is supposed to protect you, right?
Mm,
And then she did not do her job. And I remember, I think she said, Martin, she said at the end, she said, I would, oh my God, she said, oh my God, I will never forget her name.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
imagine being a teacher. If I'm the teacher saying that, I will go to her and be on my knees and saying sorry. I mean, she said, I would never forget that
Mm,
people. So can you imagine if every time someone remember you but in a bad way, and you're supposed to be punished for that, even if either you're dead or alive? I mean, this is like her remembering the teacher, but she's like, I will never forget her name.
yeah. But the problem is there are people that do those things that will just, and if you bring it up, you're like, why are you bringing that up? Like, come on now. Don't be, you're overreacting. I didn't do anything wrong. All I said was, right? Why are you making a mountain over a mole? There's people that look at it like that,
I
right?
know.
Because when it's not happening to you, you choose not to view it as an impactful thing, right? There's people without empathy. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I always believe in do unto others as you wish done to you. So if I don't want you to tease me, I'm not going to tease you, right? If I want you to respect me, I'm going to respect you.
Yeah, it's
You know
yep.
what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
what you should be doing, but not everyone looks at it like that. So it's okay to make a judgment call on your hairstyle. It's okay for me to mock your hairstyle, right? It's okay for me not to employ you because of your hairstyle. And these are the weird barriers that we find in society. And I think it's definitely improved, right? As we see, because through the documentary, you can see the older generation talking about a lot of these stigmas and things that were impactful. And then when we get to like the little the dance crew,
Mm-hmm.
how it it did seem things were more open and free, which is great, but it's still not perfect. You know
Oh,
what I mean?
there's
There are
still work to do.
still plenty of issues,
Yeah.
but it's one of those things, right? It's like a river. A river doesn't just change direction like that, right? It's that slow erosion that can take a decade, a century, but then finally it goes around a mountain. Yeah, I mean, but it took ages for it to do that thing. And I think whenever something is connected to like a racial divide, a gender divide,
Mhm.
it can take a long time to see a fully integrated change, right? We see improvements, we see steps, we see evolution, but we're still not in a place where there is a, you know, a fair meritocracy. You know the word.
It's
There's
okay.
not
We've
one
been
of
talking for
those.
almost 2 hours, so yeah, you can have a glass of water. I think, I think but yeah, what it's what you're saying is so true, and you know, and one of the things that people sometimes forget is that, you know, the healing process also, right? You know, you see, like in the documentary, you see some, you know, find a way of, you know, balancing all that, but like Martine kind of, I think she kind of now she's starting a healing process because she allowed herself to talk about what happened, because she
Mm,
didn't heal. She just tossed, you know, she put it back, and her body kind of, you know, put it back and say, oh, forget about this, but the trauma was there.
yeah.
So, you know, she's starting her healing process. So the I think this the society, you know, you have to allow the society to heal us, you know, during that process. So all the things are changing, but in the same process, you know, people, you have to allow them to heal, you know, so to
Yeah.
talk about how they're feeling, to talk about what happened, and then to listen to what they have to, what they want to see happen, right? So
Mm,
this is the hard part, you know, at telling people, you know, people, you know, sit and listen to me. I have something to tell you, to share with you. This is what happened, and this is what happening, you know, like, you know, and I don't want to stay in that state. I want to heal. I want to move forward, but you have to listen to what I'm telling you, right? It's That's a hard part to do, but you know, for Martine, for sure, for her, it's we kind of open something, you know, and hopefully,
yeah.
you know, yeah, but yeah, it's uh it's a long process, right? For,
Mm-hmm.
you know, accepting the change, you know, and you know, people are learning, like it's how to, you know, accept, if I can say that, and you know, just to accept, you know, that's
Yeah. Well, I think because there are times when people are like, "Oh, we're open to hear these things. We're open to making changes." It's easy to say that, but then you never see those changes, right? Ooh, there's a film organization right here in the UK.
Mhm.
And during lockdown, right after the whole George Floyd thing, they sent out an email and they're like, you know what? We're going to make changes, right? Our recruitment policy, we're changing that because we understand not everyone, like people from marginalized groups, haven't had the same opportunities. So if we're
Mhm.
asking for a certain type of experience, we know there's the large percentage of people from these groups will not have been able to get that experience. So we're going to look at these other things. We're going to look at transferable skills. We're going to do all of this. We're going to improve on accessibility. They said all of this stuff. Yeah. Yeah. They,
That.
because I went now, and it's not just because, right, like they haven't employed me, but I went for a job around like their accessibility,
Mhm.
and you know they were just like, oh, you know what, we've someone else had just a bit more experience than you,
Oh,
which is fine, right? Which is fine because there probably is people with more experience than me, right?
oh yeah,
But
yeah.
but the thing is, every one of their events and festivals since that time still not accessible. Still not accessible.
Odd Even on of the festival. There's
Yeah,
no.
like I went to
Ah.
a screening the other day and I didn't know. the film had subtitles in it.
Oh.
So I was just like, you know what? Let me try their audio description.
Mm-hmm.
So they didn't have any of the devices by the door, right? So they're like, oh, we've got to go and try and find them.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah.
waited about 10 minutes for one of these things to turn up. Went
Oh.
back in the screen, didn't work. It
Oh
didn't
no.
work.
It didn't connect to the, oh no.
So I just was like, I can't watch it. Like, I've missed so much of the film at this point. They're like, we could get another one. I'm just like, you know what? Like,
The film
I've
already
missed,
started.
I've
Yeah.
missed so much. Like, there's no point now, you know?
Oh my God.
And it's just these, there's these things that are still there. So people have to, I think, when it's with this stuff, you've got to listen.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't pretend that there was never an issue in the first place. And I think a lot of times people want to pretend that there's an issue, or they change. Like, I had to create this platform,
Mm-hmm.
right, around disability within the NHS. And so you're writing all of these questions because it's this internal thing, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you measure, you create a baseline, and then you
Yeah.
can see how we improve.
Yeah.
But in doing it, they're like, you can't have that question. Oh, we can't ask that question. We can't have that question. And it's like, but why? It's like, well, it shows that they're not doing that well. And I'm like, but that's the point, right?
Point.
It's not about going, you're not doing well, you're bad. It's like, okay, these are the areas where we can improve now.
Absolutely.
But they don't want, like, there was a question around diversity in the boardroom.
Mm.
And it's just like, well, if you ask that question, it's gonna look really bad because there's no diversity in the boardroom, right? But it's just like, yes, but that's a
Shit.
good thing to know, right? So you can then make those adjustments. So,
Adjusted. I mean, yeah,
yeah.
it's opportunity for you to say, hey, we're not doing it, and but
Mm,
we plan on changing stuff and doing it. This is show that you're very honest, right? But
yeah.
sometimes they're not honest, right? They just want to do things and show. They just want, you know, it's
Yeah.
it's
You want to
sad.
write in the annual report that you're doing all of these good things, right? Without having to, you know, show that you haven't been doing anything around these things for all this time, right? That there's all of these barriers and issues. And I think that's the thing with this. Like, change has definitely happened, but
Change it.
we need to, what I mean, sit, listen, and understand that, yeah, there were these issues, right? There
I mean,
were
yeah,
these issues, and we're looking to improve.
that honesty, right?
Mm,
Being honest and and ready to improve. But some of those people, they just want to write it down and say, oh, we're gonna adopt this policy, we're planning to change this and that and do this. But in reality is, it's just a facade. It's just for you to think they're doing the best, but it's they're not. It's not that walking by going like when we went for the film, my first feature, the documentary. We went at BBC, and then I didn't know who. I think I knew. I saw the name of the person that would interview me, and then when we get to the off, we get you see that different. It's a mix. It's people from
yeah.
different part of the world. There's no question to ask, right? You understand. You see people. You understand. You see it. You
Mm,
understand that even if in the policy, it's not. You see that they're working
yeah.
with people from different. And what I was like, okay, this is great. This is nice. And I went up. I met the person, and I saw different. Different. She was talking with colleagues and different people from different horizons, different background countries. I'm like, it's I saw it.
Mm,
You don't have to prove me that I saw it with my own eyes, right? But when you don't have it and you want to prove it, you have at least to be honest and say, okay, we don't have it and we want to
Mm,
improve, we want to change. This is what I was saying. People have to be willing to sit and listen. They have to be willing to be open minded and say, okay, I feel you, understand you have your pain. Maybe I don't understand what kind of pain you're living in, because you cannot understand people as pain, and you cannot tell people how to feel also, because they are the only one who knows what the feeling is and what the
yeah.
pain they're living in, right? So if you're willing to sit and listen to that and understand and say, okay, from now on we're going to work together, I'm going to try to understand you and we're going to move forward. That's what we want. It doesn't kill anybody. It will not kill anybody doing that, right? It's just
Mm,
creating more connection between communities,
yeah.
right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, hopefully, right, the documentary will help start some of these conversations, you know? Like, I do feel that this is something that would be really impactful to be shown in schools and, community centers and things like that. Have you had those discussions?
Absolutely. I love doing a community, screenings. People, I feel like the discussion, the connection, it's the vibe is different. It's not like
Mm,
in the big, in a festival, but there's so many people, and sometimes you do community screening, there's maybe 50 people, 30 people, 20 people, or 15 people, or 10 people,
yeah.
but you get to discuss with them. You guys, you go, the discussion is deeper, and those people, when they go home, they will talk about it to other people. So
Mm,
it's, like they said, you just need the right person to be at the screening. And because when you have the right person, you have the good leaders of the community, they go and do the work and talk to other people. So yeah, this is something I want to do, and I think the other documentary I did is still doing that. People still using it, in different communities. Sometimes they invite me, sometimes I can't go, sometimes
yeah.
but yeah, but I hope this one's gonna have the same do the same thing.
Mm,
But yeah, absolutely. Community screening, discussion, talking, finding solution, or listening to some people. They're just exchanging.
mm.
Just yeah, discussion, and yeah, just that. Listening to people, because some people might want to share their story. Sometimes that's what happened. They see the movie and suddenly this happened to me. I never talk about it, but this is what happened. Hopefully, so this is also the part of creating the healing process, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's creating an environment where people can talk about, like, trauma, talk about, that lived experience of something.
yeah,
Because
absolutely.
that's you need to be able to do that to get past the thing, to heal from the thing, right?
Yeah, yeah, and there's no small trauma. And some people sometimes they go, oh, it's just hair. No, it is not just that. It is a lot. It's more than that.
Mm,
So any trauma connected to experience that someone had with her hair, whatever it is, can be very impactful. So it is not just braids or just hair or just It is. It is a lot.
well, yeah, because I think anything connected to appearance, especially, right? If people are mocking that, and when it's at such a young age, you can think, am I a freak? Right? Am I abnormal? Should I hide my appearance? How can I change my appearance? What can I do? Should I bleach my skin? Should I,
Oh my
shave
God.
my head? Should I, right? It creates those seeds of doubt that then can be impossible to remove.
The yeah, you said something, the skin bleaching, that's another problem.
Mm.
That I think that's another hour and a half or 2 hour discussion about that. But there's yeah, the skin bleach, wanted to look like a white person, or the surgery. It's
Mm.
this it's so much. We I mean, as a black woman, I know black men also have the issue with connecting to hair and skin and stuff like that. But as a black woman, we put so much weight on our shoulders with those, wanted to look like someone else sometime. And it's not everyone, but many, wanted to fit in some boxes that are not meant for us. So we, put a lot, the chemicals we put on our skin. I think black women are likely to use a lot of chemicals for the skin and hair. Um, so it's, yeah, I think we need to be mindful about what we use, what we put on our skin. If you can't eat it, you can put it on your skin. This is what they say, right?
Mm. But it's like, I know a lot of time with hair, right? With the stuff people put on their hair. Oh, it's meant to burn, right? Oh, that means it's working. It's just like nothing should burn, right? If something's burning, get it off you ASAP, right? Because
Yeah.
that's not good, And then, down the line, people find that their hair's pulling out. People find that, they've got, you know, uh, an autoimmune disease, as mentioned in the documentary, is cancerous, right? Like
Yeah.
they're carcinogenic, like there's all of these things. So we shouldn't be doing this stuff. We shouldn't be putting these things in the hair. You should love the natural hair. And man, it's you don't make a choice of who you want to be with or be around because of their hair, right? It's not like I'd hang out with you, man. I'd ask you out if you had straight hair like
Yeah.
Sally, right? Now go sort your hair out and then we could go on a date, you know what I mean? But get rid of that kinky hair, right? I liked the it was I think it's the Marvis Garvey quote,
Oh
right?
yeah. Don't
Remove the kinks from your hair, remove the kinks from your brain.
don't remove yeah, I think something like that. I don't
Yeah.
remember the exact quote, but yeah, something like that. But I mean, he's right,
Mm.
and I think there's somehow, I think there's a discussion that need to happen between a black woman and between the black woman and black men, and I remember Juliette Smeralda was saying, when we were in Martinique, she was saying, she said, black men think that black women prefer white men, and black women think black men prefer white women. She said there's kind of discussion they both need to have, because they think, they have the opinion, and it's not the right opinion they have from of each other's. So
Mm.
she said there's a healing that need to happen, and this is through discussion. uh, she said back then in slavery time, white men, that the owner sometimes would sleep with the black
Yeah.
woman and have more kids and stuff. She said black men kind of hold that grudge, and because even if it wasn't the black woman fault, but but it's happened. So she said the kind of she said there's a, they hold kind of grudge about that, and she said that kind of affect through time she was explaining that, and I was sitting, I was like, okay, maybe it's something somewhere. So she said that slavery kind of disrupt the connection between black women and black men. And she said this is why today you feel like they're hating each other. There's you hear black men saying, "Oh, I prefer black white women. It's they less they easy to talk with and da 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 and da da da."
mm.
And you see, you hear black women saying, "Oh, black men are easy," but in reality, it's not true. It is
No,
not
no,
true in reality.
no. And I think it's, again, it's one of these things that you can notice in, you know, colonized countries,
Yeah,
right? It's one of those whew, horrible legacies that have been left behind, where there is maybe that kind of internal hatred, that internal distrust.
yeah, yeah. It's still yeah. There's something this that you know um I don't know if I think this is kind of a legacy of slavery, right?
Mm,
That we are still finding our way, because this African society was different, family, the meaning of family back then and today is a little bit different. How it
yeah.
was, the structure was different, right? So it's there's something I feel like it's not complete. So we're trying to build on something that was there but it's broken, and we're not. It's hard to find that balance because so much was taken from. And yeah, it would take time.
Mm,
Still today in Africa, in many countries you go, you hear someone say, "Oh, I prefer white women. They look clean. This is when it's white, it's good. When it's black, it's bad, right?" So
mm,
we still have some that mentality. This is the legacy of colonialism that we still have, and thank God there's some men that's like, okay, no, depending of the person, if the person white, yellow, or green, if I connect with the person, and we can be partner, yes, but it will not be about the race, about the good, right?
yeah, that's
But
what it should be.
yeah, that's what it should be. But you know what? We're working on it. I feel like
Yeah.
we things are it's the change is happening, right? And it doesn't mean because you white you bad or you black you bad, but we just need to find that balance, and not the black men and black women fight each other. Sometimes you see on social media people, ah, you know, uh, you see black men not happy, yeah, they would not be with the black woman again, you know,
Mm,
will not talk with them. They're angry. They have, but that pain. It's a pain that's been passed on generation, and it's been there for a long time. You know,
yeah.
it came from somewhere. It just didn't happen. When you have to fight every day, if I go out and someone talk about my hair, talk about my skin, I'm not beautiful, and I have come home with that pain and everything, and then for sure society will build you differently, and it's there's so many layers of. Anyway, this is another this is another discussion, but we know it's yeah. Anyway.
Mm. Yeah, I heard somewhere, I can't remember where, but I remember hearing somewhere that, like, trauma can be passed through the umbilical cord, right? So if you're pregnant and someone is, your hair is disgusting, you should straighten your hair, right? That will bleed through, which is,
Yeah.
which then you get that generational trauma,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
So we need to improve on these things, and we definitely are, right? We definitely are
Oh yeah.
improving. I think, again, it's like things like 1001 crowns for my head is one of those things that is a step along the right way, right? Because it
Yeah.
helps open up that conversation. It helps shine the light on issues, right? It lets people understand, oh, someone else had that experience too. I'm not the only one, right? So you can see those things which help, you know what I mean? So I think it was a because yeah, like just hearing about like the hair parties, hearing
Mhm.
about all of these different experiences, hearing about right that hair maintenance and just all of these things was crazy interesting. You know
Oh,
what I
thank
mean?
you.
It was really well done. Though I will say the one thing about the documentary that was just super frustrating,
Mhm.
the subtitles.
Oh,
The subtitles. Because now the problem was there was no solid background behind them.
oh, it was hard to
So
read.
yeah, so when you've got the white subtitles, and if the background on the screen in that scene is light, you lose the subtitle. So
Okay.
there was moments of it where I'm just like, oh, what was it? Because the girl's wearing a gray or a white t-shirt or jumper, and the subtitles have now disappeared.
Oh no. Okay. Okay. I take a note. And thank you very much.
But that was the only thing. Everything else was tremendous. And that's why I know that Netflix, Prime, Tubi, Disney, someone's going to hit you up and be like, we need more. And so then we're going to do the Many Crowns of the Diaspora. It's a TV series. And we're going to fly around the world and we're going to talk about all of this stuff. Boom.
Hopefully, yes. So I hope the universe heard it and the ancestors have heard it. So ancestors, start your job, right?
Yes.
Make it happen. Talk to the universe, okay? Make it happen because me and Kevin, we have a mission, okay? We have a mission. So make it happen, right? Okay. I'll let you know what happened, what they said. They will say about what but yeah, look, hopefully I just, want to open the discussion with this film and, yeah, contribute to the healing process and the discussion
Mm,
for the communities and for anybody that open minded and want to um, learn, and want to um, create connection, keep that connection alive and understand each other and create a better world, right? What the world right now is very unstable. So I think by listening to each other or learning how people think about how people live, or what change they want to see happen, and listen to each other. I think it's the best way to create a safe space for everyone and a peace. Yeah.
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 Oh, definitely. Definitely. So let the people know how they can watch your documentary, Habibata.
Oh my God. So I've sent it to festival, but I don't have any information yet about that. You know how it goes.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, but right now it's gonna be on TFO, October 27. I think
Mhm.
at 9 p.m. And it's you can have access to that online. TFO.org, something like that. Um,
Is that 9 p.m. Pacific, Eastern?
Eastern, yeah,
East-
Canada time, yeah,
Okay,
Eastern.
that's important,
It's
right?
important, yeah, it's
Important
important.
to know.
Because I know so many people are waiting for that. People keep asking me for the link.
Yeah,
What's the? And I'm like, oh no, I'm like, what? Go on YouTube and put a million Couronnes or 1,001. I said something gonna pop up. I'm like, oh, it's 1 p.m. Like we're talking and the text will popping on
yeah,
and the people asking the question. They just want to make sure that they have the right date time. So October 27, and if I have a festival date or anything, Kevin, I'll let you know. Hopefully maybe I'll have a festival that we, screen the film in London. Who knows?
Mm,
Right? UK.
that'd
Uh,
be great. That'd
I'll
be
let
great.
you know. I was there for my first film, and it was a great experience. It was my first time in London. I've loved that experience. So, you
Uh,
know, why not?
mm, mm.
Yeah.
So, what if people want to keep track of everything that you're doing? How would they do that as well,
Oh
Habib?
my God. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, IMDb. You just put Habibata, or if you Google 1001 crown for my head, somehow I'm gonna pop somewhere. You're gonna see something. And I have the film website, so 1001 crown .ca. That's the website. So yeah, if you just Google it, something 1001 crime, something's gonna pop up. You're gonna see the website, and you go there, and on the website of the film, the page of the film, you see my Instagram, everything, and yeah. I'll be happy to talk if you have a question, anything. If you have a festival that you can refer me to, feel free to do it. Because we have our show coming soon on Disney. We're gonna have the part two.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yes.
we have the part two. So if you know someone at Disney, just tell them on Amazon, anything. It's just
Exactly. And people, all the links will be on the website. So go to this episode's page, right? And, I'll put it in the YouTube caption as well. So you will be able to go find out where the film is, find out the film's website, find out Habita's, you know, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all of that jazz, right? So you can follow, keep track, and let her know that you want to sign that contract and commission
yeah. We're
many
open.
crowns of the diaspora, right?
Yeah, we're open for business. I'm open for business. Okay, we're open for
uh,
business. So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. And yeah, if you're a community center, a university, a school, and you want to screen the film, boom, hit Habita up, and I'm sure she will help you make that happen. But yeah, mark it down, the 27th of October, 9 p.m. Eastern. It will be hitting TFO. So yeah,
yay!
mark it down in the calendar. You do not want to miss it, people.
Oh, thank you so much, Kevin. It was so lovely talking to you. I think I've took more time than I was supposed to. We, we, we
It's
didn't
not.
focus at all. We didn't
It's
focus at
all good.
all.
As I said, it's free flowing conversation. It just goes where it goes, and this is where it went.
We spoke about so many things. I didn't know we'd be going in so many directions, right? And I was like, focus on, learning. I was like, hey, we're gonna talk about, if you're gonna maybe ask this, that, 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 that. And then we talk about God's law. I don't even remember all the things we talk about, right? We talk about so many things, but that was lovely. Thank you so much for the opportunity. And yeah, I keep you posted. I'm gonna I think you're on Facebook. I know. Yeah, I saw you on Facebook and LinkedIn, so we're gonna
Yeah,
connect and
yeah,
yeah.
we'll definitely connect. I just thank the people at Chick Art for making this happen. Right, so I was speaking to Sophia, so she hooked this up, which was fantastic.
Yeah.
There's, I really did enjoy the documentary. So
Oh, thank you so much.
you did
You.
a great job, and I appreciate you stopping by for this conversation.
Thank you so much. This is my second feature where I'm a emerging filmmaker, if I can say that. So that's my second feature. I'm very happy that I was able to put this together because it wasn't easy to do
Mm,
with the archives and stuff like that. But I've did green screen, first time. I've learned a lot, and yeah, it's and yeah, I'm happy to have yeah Shika with me because they good at what they do, and Sophie, yeah, Sophie, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Thank you so much.
All right. Well, enjoy the rest of your day, and yeah, all the success on the 27th and beyond that, because I'm sure everyone is going to love it. And yeah, you're going to be able to do more. I'm looking forward to what's next. Is there anything in the works? Any ideas floating other than a part two, obviously?
Oh, oh my God. So I'm working on my first like a feature, like a how you call it, because this is usually I do documentary, so this
Oh,
is gonna be
so
like a
a
first narrate,
fiction,
yeah, like,
like,
yeah, fiction
okay.
feature, yeah, fiction. So it's about, you know, immigration and international student coming here to study.
Right.
And you know, in some, you know, we come here to study, some immigrate here, work as a permanent,
Mm,
this thing here,
mm,
but something, some bad thing happen, and when someone is dead, the community sometimes to come together, you have to bring back the body home, and you know, do this thing. So this is like the story of this girl coming here to stay with her uncle, and the uncle gets sick, and then, you know, is dead. And then she can't go back. She just arrived, so she's afraid, like, because her mom put together all her money, give it to
yeah.
her and say, you know, go study, and she can't go back. Although her uncle put in his, you know, for the last wish that he he wants his body to, you know, go back home. He doesn't want to stay, you know, when, you know, in
Yeah.
Canada. So she's kind of, you know, don't know what to do. So she asked a friend, you know, to bring the body, the deceased back home. So it's you know, we kind of navigate, you know, in her story, you know, the family that's afraid, putting all the money. So she's like the future of the parents, and then the uncle have a background because he did bad stuff back home and came here and hide and change. So it's like how much do you accept, you know, change? How do people change? Do you like how you know, not pardon, but what the extension,
Yeah. What things do you forgive
the forgiveness, you
and
know,
what things
how you know
can't
how
be forgiven, kind of?
you know, yeah, how can you
Yeah.
forgive someone, even, you know, because the person he was a model citizen, and it was different, he was working, and back home he had different, so, you know, and the friend that has to bring her bring in the disease, the home, had also her story, because, you know, she doesn't want to go back home, she want to stay
Mm,
here to study. So this is the story of many of my friends, that the people I met here that have this story. And I decided to, because it's so heavy. People think when you immigrate, you should just immigrate, you just want a better life. But there's so many things come with that when you come here. You know, the
yeah.
disconnection with the family. Sometimes there's something bad happening, so you have to run from that because you want to have a better life. You come here. But sometimes, you know, you come here, you just want to study and go back home. And then you get here, things are different. You don't want to go back home again. Or
Mm,
sometimes you come here to stay, and then things, you know, you don't, things are not what you expect it to be. Then you go back home. So I just want to, it's kind of put, you know, have put a face on those people history, and you know, so
yeah.
yeah, it's I'm working on it, the development. I'm you know, developing that, and hopefully it's gonna, you know, who knows,
Okay.
maybe I'm gonna win an Oscar for that, who knows.
Mm. Yeah. I'm looking forward to it when it comes.
Yeah, I mean, I keep you posted. So maybe in 4 or 5 years, because I'm developing that. But yeah, this is like a migration story. And it's based on true story, because there's a lot of stuff that happened with friends. And people sometimes can't imagine that the crazy thing that can happen, right? So yeah, it's
Hmm. Okay, interesting. So people, even more reason to follow Habida and keep track of everything she does.
who
So
knows? Yeah,
yeah.
you might see me on big screen in Hollywood. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
And you say, "Oh, I remember her. I saw that girl somewhere." Yeah, that would be me. Who knows?
Hey, I'm sure it's gonna happen. I'm sure it's gonna happen.
Thank you. Thank you.
No
Thank you so
worries
much,
at all.
Kevin.
All the success And thank you again for your time, Habida.
Thank you. That was so lovely, so lovely. Like, oh my God, that's this is. Thank you for the great opportunity. I love it. Thank you so much. And we meet again. Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
All right. You have a
Bye
great
bye.